Hi guys, and welcome back to our DCUO Let's Play for the PlayStation. I am a very festive Ninja Misty, and clearly next to me someone else is in the St. Patrick's Day spirit, and that would be...
It's time to party! Oh my god! Woo! Ninja Andrew, as always, guys. Welcome back. Woot!
And we're here for a very special episode because the St. Patrick's Day event has launched once again in the DCUO.
Woohoo! It's time, guys.
It is time, and as you can see right down there, who is that? It's Mister Mxyzptlk.
There we go.
And he's ready to just start insulting you, so I guess we will go down and talk to him and get this started.
Greetings and salutations, Earth idiot. I am Mister Mxyzptlk.
He is so rude.
From the fifth dimension. I understand you Earth chumps have a legend about Little Green.
Little Green.
Well, how can I resist? Gather all 33 of me golden coins from pots of gold all over Metropolis. If you can.
He's just taunting us.
Yeah, so as you can see, it pulls up the A Fool and His Gold mission. And you're going to get 5 lucky clovers from doing that. And watch out, you're going to get $25.
Oh no.
That's right, don't spend it all in one place. So we're going to head out to Metropolis. And actually, are we going to go to Chinatown? Or are we going to go to Midtown?
Let's go to Midtown.
Alright, so we are going to head out into Midtown, and we will meet you guys there.
Woot.
Okay, guys, so we are in front of the Midtown Metropolis station, and Ninja Andrew has started drinking.
Woot.
Or, let me rephrase that, he's continuing to drink.
Hey.
So we are going to...
Is there any other way to spend St. Patty's Day? Come on.
I thought you spent it in church.
Drink your brews.
Alright, so here's one over here. What you're going to do, as you can see, the little pots of gold with the rainbows coming up out of them. Oops. You're going to come over, start beating on the pots of gold.
And try to grab as many coins as possible. And, like, each pot of gold might react slightly different. Like, there's a few different versions of them.
Yes.
So, like, you might get, like, that was the speaker's version, where it pops up the dance-a-majig, which is a trinket we will be talking about when we get back to Mitzi. But, yeah.
And so now we're just
I think there's more to the east.
Okay.
So I'm going to head in that direction.
And one of the things you want to think about when you're doing this is you may want to come to a PvE server if you're in a PvP one, if you don't have really good PvP gear or you just don't want to be bothered with getting attacked.
That's right.
Okay, so here's another. Are you at one? Okay.
You start that one. Okay. I'm just going to help by,
And you can see they show up as white dots on your map. Sometimes you may see the dot and it takes a minute for it to load in.
So that you can see the cauldron and the rainbow and all that stuff. This one, you can see it's the Mxyzptlk. He's got his little leprechauns. You got to kill the leprechauns so that they're not hitting you while you're trying to activate.
Exactly. It's kind of irritating.
Yeah. They're my favorite, though. I love the Mxyzptlk. I just don't like having to do the activity against me.
There you go. So it's pretty straightforward.
And this is just one part of the seasonal missions out here. And we've got another one just over here. Although it looks like somebody might be...
There we go. And off of these, you have a chance at random drops. The 4-leaf clover boxers that Ninja Andrew is wearing will drop off of these. And look at there. Just like magic.
Hey.
And it's the lucky boxers. How hilarious is that? And we both already have these, so
I passed on them.
There you go.
Sweet.
Those can drop. The bowler hat that Ninja Andrew's wearing. The Wicked Shillelagh.
Actually, I'm not wearing it because I've got
Oh, I forgot. You were wearing it.
Fancy hat. That's right.
I think the villain that was with us just now, I was actually wearing it. But we'll show you that when we go through the styles. The Wicked Shillelagh weapon. It's a staff style.
Staff style, yeah. And if you're interested in any of seeing any of this stuff for like in our episode last year, and the reason we decided to do another one this year is because the audio quality was just not as good on our old episode, and they've added some new stuff that we wanted to show off. So we were kind of excited to do that, and so just if you're like really looking to see like, oh, what are some of the styles that these guys are talking about, we have another example.
Yeah, totally. We'll go through most of it when we're looking at it in the rewards vendor.
So that is the coins collection part of the mission, and then we have
exploring Mxyzptlk's Metropolis. Boy, that's a mouthful.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to head over to the Superman statue.
And that's sort of why we also decided to do this episode from Midtown, because it puts us a little bit closer.
Yes. And one of the things, when I get over here, you're going to see it probably takes a minute for him to load in. I'm hoping that that's going to improve when I get my PS4.
That's right.
And this is one of the areas, if you're in a PvP server, where you're going to find a lot of villains just trolling it, because you're basically right at the front door of the villains' Midtown Club.
That's right. So, like, for me, like, when I'm doing this by myself, or if I have to do this by myself, I might even choose to do it in the PvP phase, because if you're in PvP and you wait for it to load, so Mitzi is there so you can talk to him, and you drop down and do that, and then somebody starts hitting you, you still get it for having talked to him, but you don't have to listen to him for the whole thing. So if you can like do that and then fly away or fight off your attackers, which maybe if you've got your armor you can do, then you may be actually able to get the mission done faster, or at least for this part in PvP. So just, it's up to you guys. Just be careful out there, I hear a yellow collection somewhere nearby, but
I am going to head over to the Daily Planet.
Right there. And that guy took it. Woo! Let's roll.
It takes you to the Superman statue, to the Daily Planet, then you go over to Metropolis City Hall, and then the Metropolis Museum of Art. So those are your stops. There's a race at the Daily Planet, but we'll do the exploration and then come back. You can see there it says find the Daily Planet flight race, which is going to be right down there. But right now I'm going to go up and talk to Mxyzptlk.
What? It's not the most difficult mission in the world. You're going to probably get bored of having to listen to the dialogue after so long of doing this, but it gives you another 2 tokens, which does add up eventually to help you get your marks.
Especially since the wage hike, or not the wage hike, but the price hike set in with like pots of gold being 15 tokens. Boo. They were cheaper last year.
What's up with that, DC? And also like the DCUO, I thought that was like way more expensive last year, but I could be wrong.
I can't. Well, you know what? We ought to go back and watch our old one.
That's right.
And see. We were watching you, DC. We're going to take a look.
That's right.
See how much that was. And you can also, I'm assuming, because it's what happened last year, sparkly rainbows dropped in the vault. And I think you also have a chance of getting those off of boss fights. I'm not 100% on that.
That's right. It's a possibility.
I need sparkly rainbows. Lots of them.
Yeah, I wish they'd put them in the store.
Yeah.
Along with the pots of gold there.
Okay, so we're over here at Metropolis City Hall, but have to wait for the loading.
On DCUO, loading times? Never. Yeah.
Are you being mean?
Have something called laws. I myself was mayor once. Everything was going great until
And by getting tired of hearing this dialogue, Ninja Andrew means after the very first time you listen to it.
service for the greater good.
Then you'll just be slowly going insane.
Same thing every day that you decide to do this mission.
Especially if you're doing it on multiple characters, like some of us.
I wish they'd just let you do it once, and then maybe, like, put all the marks on the race, because the race is fun.
Right.
Race, I wouldn't mind doing the race for a couple marks every day, you know, and just having this as being, like, a one-time kind of thing.
Yes, because nobody wants to come listen to this day after day after day.
Oh, and they need to make an event. Make an event.
Oh, an event would be great.
Yeah, you know?
With
some sort of Mitzi's Pixies.
Trinket.
I want a Mitzi's Pixies trinket, like I said last year.
And I want the Mxyzptlk statue.
Yeah, a solid gold Mxyzptlk statue that you can put up in your base. That'd be epic.
Maybe we need to post on the forums of like what we'd like to see.
That's right.
Okay, so you can see this is the last spot. You're over here by the water treatment plant, kind of at the edge of Metropolis, as it were.
You get to look at a giant bottled building?
Yes, the giant bottled building. Alright, so then we're going to turn that mission in. And I can't remember, I'm going to look to see, does the race actually populate a mission in your...
It does, just to find it, but if you've already flown past it, then it's like... It's
okay,
not there anymore.
I found it.
Okay.
So you can see that tells you to find the race created by Mister Mxyzptlk, so I'm going to head back to the Daily Planet. And really, doing it one time and platinuming it will get you the emblem, the race emblem, which is going to be the 4-leaf clover. And that's all you get for it. It tells you to find it every day, but it doesn't give you anything. It should give you, I mean, if it's going to pop up there every day, give me something.
That's what I'm saying.
Even if it's just one mark, give me something.
Give me like $25.
Give me $25
for finding it, and then 2 marks for doing it. Come on.
Exactly.
You know you want to, DC.
Okay, so then you can see that I've completed it just by flying over here. So...
There's your $25, and then...
And you can see here, as your reward, you get the 4-leaf clover emblem.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey, over here!
And what you want to watch out for is Mxyzptlk is trying to...
distract you.
Trip you up.
Throw tricks and traps in your way, and...
Oh, just like that.
I like the one where he's like, oh look, it's a collection. Or the one where I think he threatens to make you small. I don't know if he actually does. I don't get hit by the things very often. All I've ever gotten is knocked out of the air. It's not that bad a race, guys. Like, you should be able to get the hang of it. Oh, Mixie. You trickster, you. That's right, do a barrel roll, Misty.
Mm-hmm.
Woot.
Ooh, dang it. I missed one of the...
still good.
It's been a while.
It only comes once a year, guys.
You know, they had the Valentine's race and then they had the St. Patrick's Day race. I wonder why they don't do a Christmas and a Halloween race.
That's another great point from Misty. Where are the other seasonal races, guys?
So you can see I platinumed that, even with getting hit.
You know, there should be an event, a race, and everything for every seasonal. Just saying. And they should do more seasonal events. Like, where's the 4th of July or, I don't know, something. Canada Day. Like, come on. There's plenty of other holidays around the year where we would love to get crazy, wacky stuff to play with and new trinkets and new gear and just saying.
Totally.
Just saying.
Okay, so we're going to warp back to the Watchtower and go back to talk to Mxyzptlk and then show you the rewards, and we're going to head back out to show you some of the spots where you can spot Mr. Mxyzptlk in Metropolis. So we will meet you in the Watchtower. Okay, guys, so we are back in the Watchtower, and apparently now you can turn the mission in your journal. I thought, well, it's not I thought, you did. You used to have to come back and talk to Mr. Mxyzptlk, and he'd tell you that you were good at jumping through hoops, and so, yeah. We're going to head over here to the Pot of Gold, which is, think of this as your skeets vendor.
That's right.
So let's take a little look in and see what they have this year. Actually, new this year is the Lucky Leather Bomber. I'll show you a preview of that, and Ninja Andrew can show you that up close.
I can.
Later. Don't you have that on here?
Yeah, I can.
Because it has something on the back, but you can't see it because of my long hair.
There you go.
Then they did a whole bunch of base items based kind of on a pub theme, and we will show you those after we spot Mr. Mxyzptlk. So you come on down. There's that very expensive pot of gold. The Dance-A-Majig trinket, we can show you that in just a minute. The good thing about that is you can use it in PvP, so that's one of the things that we like to do.
And, like, I was in a PvP match using it the other day, and one of the guys in the match was like, oh, what's this guy doing using the Dance-A-Majig trinket, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, just for anybody who's not aware, the Dance-A-Majig trinket in PvP will not only do a hit of damage, but it will stun the enemy if they're not already, like if they have the flashing because they've been block broken or whatever already on them, then you won't get the activation of it. But if you do manage to hit them while they're not flashing, it'll stun them and it'll force them to use either a breakout or their trinket to break out or whatever. So that actually uses up power. So not only does it do a little hit of damage, but it forces your enemy to use up their power to break out more as you use it. So it's actually not that bad for a PvP trinket, just for anybody who hasn't used it out there, you know?
And the good thing is if they are low on power because you've been fighting them for a while and you throw it, then they can't break out and they're standing there dancing while you're beating on them.
Right.
And there is a degree of satisfaction in seeing that happen. So just putting that out there. Alright, then you have your brews, your red, green, and gold. Those, like every other seasonal snack, you're going to have an increase to damage, an increase in your health, and an increase in healing for 30 minutes, depending on which one you drink. And then there are the clover glasses, which you can see here. For some reason, they have a blue tint to them. I'm not
sure. They have a permanent blue tint to them. They're always going to be blue.
Then the Daily Bobbers, which I'm actually wearing, the leprechaun shoulders, the jacket, the gloves,
giant,
the belt, the pants, and the shoes are all part of the Celtic set. Now, to get full completion on that, you have to get the back and the hat, which drop just randomly off of instances. You could get it off of the pots of gold. It's just one of those.
Pots of gold would be where I would look the most for stuff like that.
I know I've gotten it out of alert bosses and things. It's just one of those seasonal random drops. But you can see the shoulders here. They're huge, and they're
huge. That's what I'm wearing right now.
They have clovers on them. And then I'm actually wearing the chest style. The gloves, you can see those there. I'm wearing the belt, so you can see that on my costume. And then the pants, I mean, you know, they're pants.
Yeah, honestly, like every other pair of pants in this game.
And then the terrible, awful shoes, which, you know, clearly someone wasn't thinking about the female translation of this style. Because they're absolutely gigantic.
And then you got, like, that mask is actually pretty cool. Full mask with gloves. Like, there's people up there who really like that style.
And, okay, you can see that.
Decent cowl style.
And then there's, like, the tank top with the club on it.
The 4-leaf clover, or the 3-leaf clover, really.
It's the club, yeah.
Yeah, it's the club.
And then you have the t-shirt there.
It says, "Kiss me, I'm Irish." Woot!
And while we're talking about t-shirts, it's not a t-shirt per se, but in the open world, on your yellow collections, because it's seasonal, you're going to have those double drops again. It's a 4-piece collection. You've got the clover of hope, faith, love, and luck. And when you complete that, you get, I believe it's called the 4-leaf clover hoodie. Or,
I think that's right.
Let me see if I can find that real quick. Yes. So you guys can see that right there. It's kind of, you can't change the colors on it. It's kind of a split color. It's kind of strange looking, honestly, but
You know?
Hey, who am I to judge?
Woot. Do you want me to throw the dance imaging so they can see it?
Sure.
Woot.
So you can see the circular
effect on the ground, sort of like a mini AoE.
Right, that's your stun radius. So if anybody is within that little area, they run the risk of being affected by it.
Getting that hit and having to break out.
And while we're here, I'm going to pull up the feats. Let's see here. You're going to go under your seasonal. And then down to pot of gold, which is completing everything. So you're going to scroll down to St. Patrick's Day. You get a feat for completing the race. Now here, this is what we're getting ready to go out and show you some of the locations that Mister Mxyzptlk spawned.
That's right.
You have to spot him 5 times.
That's not bad. I think that's less than it used to be, but I could be wrong.
Then you have completing the daily, the Fool and His Gold. That's 10 times. Collecting all the styles in the Celtic set. Drinking any 10 brews, drinking all variety of the brews, and then a new feat for this year was collecting all 6 of the base items from the 2014 St. Patrick's Day event. So these aren't terrible to accomplish, really.
No.
Pretty easy.
You could, if you work on them, at least on one character, it's fairly easy to get this stuff now. So just do your best, guys. There's lots of interesting stuff there, and we'll show you some more as we go along.
Absolutely. And we will see you guys back out in Metropolis, and we'll take a look and see if we can spot Mister Mxyzptlk to give you an idea of where he spawns.
Woot.
So we'll be right back, guys. Okay, guys, so we are out in Metropolis, and we are actually in the Suicide Slums, and let me pull that up and show it to you on the map, just in case you don't know where that is. Alrighty, we came out of the Chinatown police station and flew down here. Let's see if I can find the Chinatown police station. These maps are confusing. Alright, this is Strikers. Alright. So we're just out here by the water in Suicide Slums. And as you can see right behind us, oh my goodness, it's Mister Mxyzptlk. So this is one area you can find him. It's kind of around the Suicide Slums area. You can also see as you're flying around, like over here, there are a lot of the pots of gold. So you could kind of come out here and kill two birds.
Maybe do your mission, yeah.
Right, with one stone. I've found in the past he'll also spawn on top of these little pipes that go across the street. You might see him sitting like right up here.
So if you fly around the whole Suicide Slum and look at all of those, you'll probably see him on at least one of them, because I know he spawns on a couple at least.
Yes, and you want to take it slow probably as you're flying, so he'll load in.
Right.
Just keep that in mind. You might be flying really quickly and miss him just because he hasn't loaded in yet. So this...
And there are some other areas in the game that would be good to look for him. I would say anywhere that's got, like, low rooftops and stuff like that, because it's just easier to search more of that area. So Chinatown, Suicide Slums, Little Bohemia, back behind Metropolis General, where they have all the residential areas.
Yes.
Those would be good spots to start. Or, like in Gotham, like the East End, or, you know, anywhere where you low rooftops, you're just going to cover distance. And he spawns sort of like all over the place. He's not in the places where you would find iconic heroes and villains, though. So don't waste your time trying to look for him in those spots.
Right, different from like Lara Fleas, who would spawn in those areas. Mxyzptlk, literally, I know in downtown Metropolis, sometimes he's just in nooks and crannies. So you just have to keep your eyes peeled. Look
for that little orange...
Yes.
Fuzzball, whatever, in the distance, and
like Ninja Andrew said, you know, it's easier to kind of search the low roofs, somewhere you can fly over, you know, kind of at a slow pace, see if he loads in, and you'll get it eventually.
Yeah, that's the real thing with this one, guys. It's like once you know, like, one location, it's not so bad. It used to be a lot easier to switch between phases to look for him, but sadly they've made it a little bit more difficult, I think, because they probably watched our last episode on that exact topic. But basically, like, he's not that hard to find. I know a couple spots in Chinatown that we could go and show them really quickly if we wanted, or, like, we showed them in our last episode. I know he spawns sort of, like, close to the water's edge a lot of the time, or I know a couple spots are around the old Science Police headquarters.
Right.
On rooftops around there. So just, like, keep your eyes open, guys. He's around.
He is around, and like Ninja Ender said, he also spawns in Gotham. So if you're out in Gotham, keep your eyes peeled for him there.
Might even be easier when he's sticking out a little bit more.
Absolutely. Okay. So if you have trouble, or if you want to see more specific spots, you guys can pull up our St. Patrick's Day episode from last year where we showed you, I think, some spots closer to Midtown as well. You can take a look at that, but the biggest thing is flying around, just keeping your eyes out, because he's out there.
Yeah.
And now we are going to head over to our special holiday base and show you guys the base items.
Some of the new base items.
Totally.
Woot.
So we will meet you there.
Woo.
Okay, guys, as we were flying to our base over at the LexCorp Tower, we happened to spot Mister Mxyzptlk. So you can see him right there behind me. And let me pull it up on the map. Let's see here if I can zoom out a little bit to give you perspective. What are we close to here?
Sort of Centennial Park. It might be like on your way from doing the Superman statue to the Daily Planet.
Right.
You might be able to just swing right by here.
You can see there how close we are to the Daily Planet, and over here to your left is Centennial Park. So it's kind of a straight shot from Centennial Park. I'll zoom in a little bit more. And we're just going to head right down to, oh my goodness, the broken shillelagh. So, shall we?
Yes, sir, darling.
So you can see, guys, I mean, you might just be flying along on your way to the Daily Planet to talk to him or do the race, and boom, there he is, just on the sidewalk.
You know? Makes it easy for anybody who knows where he is on that particular one. It's like, that's probably the easiest location to find him while you're doing the mission.
Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to go into our little pub here at the Broken Shillelagh.
What?
I'll wait for it.
It's a new instance in DCUO. Oh my god. No, I'm just kidding.
Aw, you're bald.
I'm still wearing my drinking helmet.
On the inside.
You know.
Okay, guys, so we are inside our little pub, which we think is pretty epic.
Welcome to the Broken Shillelagh in DCUO, like gangsters. Yeah. What?
Alright, so let's talk about these base items really quick. You can see I'm standing on one of them, which is the 4-leaf clover rug. Ninja Andrew is behind the bar. And actually the bar, there's just one bar, and you can rotate it to put it together to make the big bar.
That's right.
And then you have the wall casks. And then what I think is really cool is the sign. I like the fact that it's animated.
It fills up. Yeah.
They did a really good job with that. You can see the pots of gold and the rainbows from last year. I think that's everything in this room. Then we have our more expansive side of the bar here.
Come in and take a seat.
Exactly. We had a lot of fun, guys, putting it together. Okay, so these are the pub seats. You can see there, the booths. This is the pub divider. Okay.
Also, you have these awesome 4-leaf clover rugs.
Well, I just talked about that.
Oh, you did? Oh, well, then I'm just jerking it up.
Yep, it's the first thing that I said. Somebody's not paying attention.
Who's that?
I don't know. Okay, and then down here we have our VIP area.
That's right.
We have the bar down here, and then it has the larger casks, which I think are really neat. You can see those.
I think they did a decent job of coming up with stuff to use to make a bar with, in addition to what we already have, or a pub rather.
Absolutely. And then here's the pub dartboard. So that's really cool. We have our little gaming area. And then if you want to relax, you can go upstairs. And actually, this is all just random stuff. There's nothing. I think that was all of the items that you can get from the vendor. So really cool. They did an awesome job.
Not bad if you're trying to set up like a little awesome drinking pub.
Absolutely.
To do some lair battles in, you know?
And speaking of drinking, the soda drinking hat for you teetotalers out there, or your beer drinking hat for the rest of us, Ninja Andrew is wearing that one, and that is a rare drop that you can get from any boss in the game. So
that's right.
You just want to keep your eyes peeled for that. I'll give you a good close-up view of that. And actually, while I'm back here, that is the Celtic snake cape that Ninja Andrew is wearing. It's very nice.
Right.
And then you can get up close here. This is the Celtic belt that I'm wearing. It's pretty cool. It's got the little horseshoes and the little pouches. That's the Celtic chest. The dealy bobbers you can see, and the Celtic back. I think it's called the leprechaun short cape when it drops.
That's right.
But that's actually what it is. And
I'm going to show off 2 chests here, I guess. Because I've got that...
bomber.
The Lucky Bomber. Let me just see if I can find that.
And I'm going to put the Celtic hat on while you do that.
Let's see here. Taking off the shoulders so you can get a little bit of a better look at it. I'm not going to take off the gloves and everything else, but it's a bomber jacket.
Hang on, let me back out so they can see that, because I put the Celtic hat on. Okay, so you can see there on the back, it's got the patch on the back of the bomber jacket.
That's got the clover and it says Slant on it. And so, like, maybe if you don't want to have that, you could, like, put on some sort of cape or backpack or something or other that'll cover that over. But I like the style of the bomber jacket in general, you know?
Totally.
Pretty decent.
And then I'm going to show, what was it, the bowler that's the other, was it the Lucky Bowler? What do they call it? The hat?
I think it's the Lucky Bowler, yeah. I'm just going to show the Irish.
Maybe I don't have, actually it's called the Leprechaun.
There you go.
So that is the other hat that you can get. Ninja Andrew is wearing the Kiss Me I'm Irish t-shirt. He's not really Irish.
Everybody's Irish for a day on St. Patrick's Day.
There you go. Some of us are legitimately Irish. Alright, so I think we covered everything, right? The leather bomber, we talked about the hat styles. Yeah.
If you have any other questions, or if there's anything you want to know, like, just make sure you go and do your collections like Misty mentioned. That's one thing that most people will tend to forget. You know, just go and collect random collections out in Metropolis or Gotham until you get the 4 that you need. That's my only tip that I can really give, you know?
Exactly.
Everything else is self-explanatory.
Get your feet, spot Mister Mxyzptlk, and put your beer drinking hat on and have a happy St. Patrick's Day.
And come and fight us in the Broken Shillelagh.
Come and oh, what? No. Come drink with us in the Broken Shillelagh. All right, guys. So, like, subscribe, comments, questions. Join us next time for more epic adventures in the Broken Shillelagh with DorkNinjaGaming. Bye.
Woot.